Hello, is there anybody out there? Oh, I sound like a medium, don't I? Oh, hiya, Nathan. Do you like my top? I'm wearing it because it's Pride Day in England anyway. I've not worn it before, so it's having its first airing. I like to be colourful. Hi, Amanda. I've got my coffee. Sorry for slurping, but it was a bit hot. Hi, Judy. Oh, my hands feel all weird. I need some hand cream. I've just been washing dishes, which isn't my favourite thing in the whole wide world. I've had two dogs super glued to me all day. They're actually sleeping at the minute, which won't last. Oh gosh, I didn't realise it's. Sorry for making farty noises with my hand cream, but it's running out. I'm not doing too bad, Esther, but I'm still coughing. The antibiotics are still not working. Hi, Chris. How are you doing? Just putting hand cream on because my hands are. I don't like the washing up liquid my daughter-in-law buys. It makes my hands itch. Mind you, I don't always wash up, so it doesn't really matter, does it? She's the one who normally washes up on my son. Hmm. Yeah, it's Pride Day today. Well, Pride weekend in the UK. So I'm wearing this in honour. Hi, Juanita. The de-stashing is doing okay. It's mostly selling for a lot less than what I paid for it, but hey, ho, that's the way of the world. I'm not one of these people who finds a bargain in the charity shop for 2p and sells it for £1,000,000. It's the opposite with me. I pay £1,000,000 and sell it for 2p. But I'm making headway because I'm making room in my shed, which is what I wanted to do. It's supposed to be a crafting shed and not a storage unit. So, hi, Trudy. I am fed up of it looking like a jumble sale in there. I can't even get to the table. I can't get to my sewing machine. Not that I do sewing, but to do running repairs and little things that go wrong with your clothing. Like sewing up a seam or something that's busted. And I can't even get to my sewing machine, and I can't even ask my son to do it because the table is just like that, full of. It looks like a hoarder's house in there. I'm really missing Sue. Really missing Sue. She used to organise me. But sadly, at the moment, she's not able to come down. I think I told you her husband needs an operation, and sadly, one of her neighbours is very, very poorly at the minute, so she's been looking after her. So I don't think I'll see Sue until maybe next year, probably. Very sad. And sadly, all my friends over here seem to have the similar trouble to me: back pain, knee pain. So I can't ask any of them to come in and start hurtling things about. I'll get there in the end. Hi, Squirrel Raid. Hi, Monica. I think I said hello, Trudy, didn't I? You'll have to excuse me. I've gone a bit. I've been watching the gay parade on the internet, the internet. Hi, Nana Michelle. I'm not gay, just in case you're wondering, but I'm definitely not homophobic, and I love a parade. Doesn't matter who throws it, I love a parade. I will watch any parade by anybody because I just love the music and and everybody dressed up. Great. Hi, Kim. Yeah, we don't have enough parades, do we? I think we definitely need more parades in our world. Yeah. Not that I could join in one unless I trim my scooter up, with balloons or something and go flying down the street. Yeah, we need parades. We need more parades. The world's absolutely horrible into everything. Every time we turn the news on, it's this and it's that and it's the other. We need more parades. Yeah. Yes. So I've got my blouse on, even though I didn't go to a parade. I've got my blouse on. It's a nice one as well. It's got fringe on the bottom. Look at that. Look at the tassels. In case you're looking for it, it was Moonbeams and Mayhem, and they are online if you're in the UK. So you could buy one if you wanted one. Yes, I bought it in honour of the parade, yeah. I've got a long version actually as well. You know, that you wear when you've been, I don't know, to the swimming baths, or you've been, in my case, to the hot tub. You know, you put it on to cover your modesty on the way back, yeah. I love anything that's colourful, Trudy. I do not like, I'm definitely not a beige person. I wear grey at a pinch, but beige, no. Hi, Carol. Are we having our own parade on here tonight? Yes. Everybody get your comb and your tissue paper, and we'll all have a little parade. We'll have a little marching band, yeah. Not that I can do any marching, but I shall just march on the spot in my chair. You joining me, Chris? Let's march in our chairs. It's a good way to get your heart pumping, actually, isn't it? You know, that's what the basis is of this armchair yoga, isn't it? You know, get your heart rates up. If you can't stand up and walk, which I can walk, but I can't walk far. By the time I get to that door over there, I'm absolutely, yeah, done for going, ugh. So I definitely couldn't walk in a parade. But, come on, who can play an instrument? Anybody here got brass band inclinations? Anybody? Yeah, a robotic chair. That's what we need, isn't it, Chris? Actually, I've had a super glued dog all day today. I don't know what I've done to deserve it, but wherever I've been, Rosie has been super glued to my side. I don't know why I'm the flavour of the week, but just because her parents aren't here. Normally, she just totally ignores me. You know, she says hello when it's tea time and, you know, things like that. But she's been absolutely super glued to me since they went, really, yeah. You're going to put distance sensors on? Yeah, we could do one. You know, one that's controlled by your brain that goes the way you're thinking. I'm sure somebody must be able to do one of those, you know, so you wouldn't have to press buttons and levers and control it. You could just think that I'm going to go right or I'm going to go left, and it would do it for you. I mean, they do such wonderful things, don't they, these days? So I'm sure they could do a sensor chair, yeah. Yeah, I don't have a wheelchair. I have a scooter, a mobility scooter. Hopefully I don't get to the stage where I need a wheelchair, hopefully. Yeah. Hiya, Granny D, Squirrel Raid. Hey, it might go somewhere nice at night on its own. We might get lured to the bright lights. That'll be a change. I haven't seen a bright light for a long time unless I look at the street light. Oh, I've got to sneeze. Excuse me. And I don't even have perfume on. Must be the hand cream. Although it's not particularly scented. Oh, it's called Ghost. So I presume it is scented then if it's called Ghost. Because Ghost perfume's scented, isn't it? Oh, I know. I missed that carol, yeah. It didn't play at the end of the street, but they used to play in the town. You know, if you went to town, they were always there playing the brass bands. Yeah. Yeah. Manny, my son, and his dad and his dad's bird, they went to Edinburgh Tattoo last weekend, and I believe it was very nice. I've seen bits of it on the TV. It was very nice, yeah. Oh, you brought your sneezes across, did you, Granny D? Yeah, I just got them from somewhere, and I haven't got perfume on. Am I allergic to the squirrels or am I allergic to the nuts? I don't know. I'm a bit nuts myself anyway. Hi, Sandra. I've always thought of myself as being a little bit weird, but I relish that. I go with it. I go with the flow. I like being a little bit weird because to be totally conventional and totally normal must be very, very boring. Don't you think? Is it just me? My dad always used to say I march to a different drummer than anybody else, yeah? Um, that I listen to a different piper than everybody else. I think that he was alluding to the fact I was a little bit wacky even when I was a kid, you know. But at times in my life, being wacky has been really fun, yeah? Really, really fun. I like being a bit weird. I don't want to be the old lady that they sort of sits in the chair. I want to be the old lady when my family are thinking, oh my God, what's she up to next? What's she going to do now? Yeah. I think they just disown me when I go off on one. My niece is fantastic. She's a would-be weirdo. Yeah, I'm training her. Yeah. Yeah, do you like me bright beads? See, I'm all colourful today. Well, it's Pride weekend. You have to support, don't you? You have to support. I'm all in favour of diversity. I'm all in favour of live and let live. As I said before, I'm not gay, but that doesn't mean I don't support. Yeah. I mean, I did get asked the other week if I was gay, actually, just because I don't have a man, you know. I'm happily single. Yeah. I do march to the beat of my own drum. Yeah. Hi, June. We're having a parade today, June. We're having a parade. If you can play a brass instrument or anything, or you can march along, that's what we're doing. We're having a parade, yeah. Well, thank you, Tracy. Yeah. Yeah. If we have to sit in a chair, we're going to do the marching, yeah. Going to get the heart rate up. We're going to get the beat of the drum. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. I wish I had sound and then you could all, you know, play the paper and the comb and the instruments and you could all clap your hands and, you know, we could have a bit of a rave going on then, couldn't we, you know? There's no alcohol involved, by the way. Am I feeling better? That's a touchy subject, Tracy. So far, half of me antibiotics have not worked yet. I have got my fingers crossed that the other half will work wonders, but I'm not holding my breath. I have so far been diagnosed from afar. My medical team are so wonderful that they don't have to actually see me. Yeah. You know, they know what's wrong with me by not looking at me. Hi, John. Hola a todas. I know it's hello, but I don't know what the rest of it means. Oh, yeah, they can diagnose you've got ear infection or you've got throat infection from afar. They're brilliant. They can do it on the phone. They don't even have me doing it face to face over the internet. No, it's all on the phone. Yeah. Yeah, they're wooden beads. They're wooden discs, actually. Wooden discs. Somebody said well, they're buttons, but they're not. They're actually, they remind me of like the little stacking things that children have, you know, when you play. Uh, you probably had them when you were a kid. They're like that, and you stack the big one at the bottom, then it goes next one, then the next one, and you finish up with a little one at the top. I think it's supposed to teach children coordination and sorting out that the big one goes at the bottom and sorts it. Yeah. Arian never did get the hang of it. He just used to throw them all around the floor. Oh dear. He was a very impatient child. Oh, you've got your Mexican friends, have you? Is that tortillas? Or is it a Mexican drink you've got? You don't drink the one with the worm in it, do you? What's that, tequila, is it? I don't drink it, so I don't know. That drink you get with the worm. If I saw a worm in my drink, I wouldn't be drinking any of it, I'm afraid. It might be dead, but I don't care. It might have germs. Oh, you got real live Mexican friends, have you? Oh, goody, goody. I don't think I have any Mexican friends. I don't have many friends, to be quite truthful. If they don't knit and crochet, I don't really seem to know them. Oh, dear. We went singing at the Affinity, which is like a big shopping centre in Fleetwood. We went singing there. And we did get quite a lot of people passing by, actually, because it was the day that the kids were getting their feet measured, for the school shoes. So we had a bit of a captive audience because we were near the Clark's shoe shop. So every time they passed by, we used to sing at them. Whether they liked it or not, they got sung at, yeah. But they were singing actually yesterday at Asda, but I couldn't go because I won't leave the dogs on their own. My son has said, oh, you can go out, you can leave them for a little while, but I won't leave them. I'm like the doting grandma. I won't leave them. Unless it was a national emergency and I had to go out, yeah. But apart from that, no, I won't leave them. Yeah. It's different when it's their here and it's their dogs and they want to go out, they can make the decision to leave them, but I just, no. Well, it's all peaceful because all this last week, I don't know whether I told you or not, we had 3 small children under the age of 6 staying with us. So I was woken up every morning to the sound of 2 little girls screaming at each other. I don't know why they have to pick at each other and poke at each other, pull each other's hair. I've not had girls, I only had one boy. So I'm not used to all this. I don't know whether you've had girls or whether they bicker. I mean, at boys, at least, all boys do is they just punch a hole in each other, They don't pull each other's hair and scream and say, oh, she's doing this to me, she's doing that to me. Boys don't do that. Boys just go, foof, and punch somebody in the eye. Over and done with then, isn't it? So I'm not used to girls. They tell tales on each other all the time. She's doing this to me. She's pulling my hair. She's poking at me. She won't leave me alone. I'm like, I used to go in this room and shut the door like, I don't care. Pull her hair. Poke her. I don't care. You're not my problem. Oh, dear. And then they'd be tormenting and the dogs would start barking because the dogs couldn't stand this running around and squealing and carrying on. And I always say God knew what he was doing when he only gave me one kid. Yeah. If I'd have had any of the others, I suppose I would have adapted because I would have been only in my 20s. I mean, at 76 now, I'm too old for all this shenanigans. Yeah. But it's funny, when I'm here with the dogs, they're pretty quiet, actually. I don't know whether I'm more relaxed with them, I just tell them that I tell Rosie she's beautiful, she's lovely. And she just super glues herself to my side. She comes for cuddles, she gives me kisses. She's such a lovely little dog. But the little thug, the French bulldog, ooh, all she does is jump all over you and try and lick your face and go away. I can do with dogs as long as they don't start licking my face. Ugh. That's just like one bit too far. I never had a dog that licked my face. He licked my hands, he licked my feet, he licked other bits of me, but not my face. He never licked my face. Even Gigi. Gigi would give me a kiss, but he didn't lick my face. You don't know where they've been, do you? Which parts of their anatomy they've been licking before they come to lick your face. It's just not nice, is it? I'm still knitting my sleeve. Hiya, Jeannie. I'm still knitting my sleeve. I'm not doing very well. I'm on the last sleeve now, thank goodness. So there is signs of it actually ever getting finished. Look, look, look. Second sleeve. Well, the dogs certainly do. My son and my daughter-in-law are a bit deaf. Nothing against it, them being deaf, but they don't shout at each other, but they have a louder voice, you know. Whereas I'm quite quiet, you know, when I'm speaking. I don't. And they always seem to be at the opposite end of the house to each other when they want a conversation. So all you hear is, eh, eh. It's no wonder the dogs are nervous. Hey, I'm going to knit. You'll be happy to know. I'm going to knit. I think I've only got one more increase to do, and then it's straight up to the arm. Oh, shaping. There's a chance it might get finished before the end of the month. Oh dear. Oh, the end of the month. I've got a payment on my credit card. Somebody had put on Facebook, oh, I bet you'll be rich now you've sold the wool. I'm the kind of person who manages to sell everything at less than what I paid for it. Hi, Kaz. You know, I'm not one of those people who finds something in the attic that they've had for donkey's years, or somebody that buys something at a car boot sale and it's worth thousands. I'm the opposite. No. I buy something for £10 and sell it for £2. Yeah. What have we got to guess, Kaz? What have we got to guess? I know, you're not working tomorrow. That's my guess. That's my guess, Kaz. Am I right? You're not working tomorrow. I want to know if I am right. And guess what, Kaz? I'm not working tomorrow either. In fact, I haven't worked for the last 16 years. Not because I'm idle, it's because I've retired, because I had a bad back. And I'm old. And I'm knackered, but we don't talk about that. Hey, can I have an extra cornflake in the morning then? Being as I got the answer right. I used to say that to my son. Oh, you can have an extra cornflake in the morning for getting the answer right. And he goes, oh, gee, thanks. You're free as a bird. Only until Monday. Oh, no, Monday. It's a bank holiday Monday here, isn't it? Is everybody that's in the UK off work on Monday? I've been in a bit of a pickle trying to post things off. Because it's bank holiday and the post office was shut because they're on strike. So I'm hoping that they're open on Tuesday. It wouldn't even let me print the labels, you know, the postage labels. It actually advised me to send things by Parcel Force at the cost of £8 a parcel. Hi, Sean. How are you doing, dear? Are you feeling any better? Our Sean's not been very well. She's been proper poorly, haven't you? So I hope you're feeling better, Sean. Yeah, I'm hoping I'll post slow and steady, but aha, you're mobile. That's a good sign. It's a good sign if you've got your poorly foot right. Because I know that's what you're telling G, isn't it? You've got a poorly foot. Just in case he's listening, yeah. You'll be back building your Lego again in 5 minutes flat. I know you, Sean. You're very determined, aren't you? You're not the kind to sit there and not do anything. Yes, our Chris is on here, Kaz. Yeah. Not sure what he's doing, whether he's making his dinner or his tea or whatever he's making. Well, tell it not to go off to the pub anymore. It must have been some hen do you went on. You were warming up a cup of coffee. Oh, all right. Is it proper coffee or is it instant rubbish like mine? Actually, I don't like proper coffee. I am not a coffee snob. I really don't. It tastes a bit bitter to me. My late brother used to make me a coffee. Oh my goodness me, you could stand a spoon up in it. He said, "Do you want a cup of coffee?" And I'm like, "No, no thanks. You got any juice?" It was too strong for me. And he used to say, "I'll put a bit of hot water in it for you." And I'm like, "No, it still tastes that bitter taste to me." I'm a bit of a funny one with coffee. Yeah, I don't take milk, you see, so it doesn't dilute it, does it? So if it's strong, I just can't. The worst cup of coffee in the world I ever had was we went on a train, would you believe, to Paris. I don't know, it was before the tunnel, so I don't know how I managed that. But anyway, we went on a train to Paris. And I never thought to ask for Nescafe. I went and asked for a coffee, yeah. And it came in an egg cup with a handle on it. Oh, God. Talk about a hit of caffeine. It was terrible. I couldn't drink it. It would have been like syrup, but it wasn't sweet. Oh, it was awful. And somebody said, "Oh, you should have asked for Nescafe. That means that they'll put your milk in." I thought, well, I don't take milk. So how do I tell them I want Nescafe but without the milk? It's all right we speak English, but most of the Parisians, they may speak English, but they won't. You know, I had a little bit of French, not a lot because it's from school, but they pretend they don't understand you, you know, and they go, "Ooh, ooh, ooh," and they're very abrupt and very rude, and they just throw the change at you now. And I went back to the hotel, and there was a very nice young man on the desk, the reception desk. And I said to him, "Is my French really that awful?" And he went, "No." He said, "But I'm not Parisian." So I said, "Does it make a difference?" He went, "Oh, yeah, they're rude." Hi, he said. So I thought a Frenchman was calling the Parisians rude. But they're very abrupt. They pretend not to understand you. They're like, but I believe in other parts of France, they're lovely. I had a French pen friend once, and he invited himself to come over. I couldn't get rid of him. And he wanted all the finest of food and everything like that. And he wanted wine with his meals. God, he cost me a fortune. I was like, when he went. And it wasn't a romantic anything like that, yeah. Yeah, it's hard not to say anything and scare him, isn't it, Sean? Sean, oh God. You know, you can't scare a kiddie because they don't really understand. He's at 9, he's too young to comprehend. You know, if you just keep it simple, just tell him you've got a dodgy foot and like you did before, yeah, and that you're having a wobbly brain. Yeah, excuse me while I count. 2, 4, 6, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 48, 50, 51, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60. Yeah, it is. I thought I needed another increase. I need to be 74. Oh, if you go to other countries, they like us. You know, if you go to Portugal, if you go to Spain, what gossip have you missed? On here, not a lot really. We're just having a parade actually, because it's, as you know, it's Pride weekend in the UK, so I'm wearing my top just to give me support. And I was trying to form a brass band, but nobody seems to want to play. Oh, we're having a marching band, yeah. Hi, Connie. So that's all about the gossip that you've missed, really. We've not really had any gossip. Anybody else got any gossip for Shan? Speak now. Type it in, quick, so she knows. No, there's not a lot going on, really. Life's pretty boring, really, isn't it? Unless you make it something different. I'm looking for the fun in Fleetwood, and I really haven't found it in 18 months while I've been here. They're all pretty staid. Although I stopped to talk to a guy the other day, and it turned out that he used to work in the bread shop, which was about four shops away from my shop. So it was nice to meet somebody from Brighton. Yeah. Yay, I wish I wasn't so boring. I would break out of my shell, except there's nothing going on here that's even slightly racy or anything like that. They're all pretty staid, really. Pretty conventional, as I call them, very beige. That's what Billy Connolly calls people, isn't it? Very beige. You know, they walk up and down the seafront, they talk, they have a cup of coffee, then they go home, and then, you know, there's just like nothing happening. It's like, you wish somebody would inject a bit of. Oh, yeah, I'm wearing it for Pride, yeah. Well, you saw it from the inside, did you, Sean? I used to have. I have no idea why we picked Fleetwood. No idea at all. Don't ask me that question. I wish I hadn't bothered. But it was a nice sunny day when we came to look at the house. That's all I can say. So everything was bathed in a nice light. But it's a pretty boring place, actually. Now, I used to dye my hair this sort of brilliant shade of red, really sort of ginger. And a guy at the hospital, he must have been an anaesthetist. I can never say that word. And he goes, "Oh, how are you doing?" He said, "I remember your hair." Don't remember me, don't remember my face, but you remember my hair. It was pretty good considering they make you wear one of them silly plastic caps when you go under anaesthetic. But he remembered my hair. It was a bit silver black though at the time. It was very, you know, surprise, surprise. I had a phase where it was like, not that red that they dye their hair now. I'm talking really bright ginger. I had to think about having ginger hair. Because my mum said I was born with ginger hair, you see, so I decided I wanted to go back, revert, yeah. I actually had it ginger for quite a while before I decided to. Yeah, it's now the fashion is to have this proper red, isn't it? Like this red. No, I was proper Proper silver, black, orange, red, I was. Not the traffic light red that they have these days. I could never keep up with that anyway because my roots would grow out. I think when you get older and you dye your hair dark, it looks worse when you get the grey and the white coming through than it does when you get the dark coming through or when you're blonde. Yeah. I'm growing it out. How long it would last, I don't know. Before I get fed up and get the dye bottle out again. Hi, Lulu. I say this every time. I'm going to grow it out. I'm fed up. I'm blonde. I'm fed up bleaching. I'm going to grow it out. And then it gets so far and I think, no, can't stand this. I feel old. So I have to dye it again. You're a faded ginger. Ooh. I like ginger. I might go ginger again. Look at the grey. Look at the grey. Whoa, 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 whoa. I just refuse to grow old gracefully. I don't know why. And yet I'm sick of dyeing it blonde. You know, what's a happy medium? And I don't suit dark hair. I just look like I'm death warmed up. Oh, it's going. It's you can. I don't know what you can see or not. It's white at the sides and dark grey at the top. My roots are still too dark. I wish they would lighten up. If I could go that colour there, I'd be overjoyed. If I could go that silver grey. Man, yeah, I can't call myself a silver fox because that's what men are. Why is it men are so attractive with grey hair? They call them a silver fox, don't they? And yet a woman, oh, she's got grey hair. She looks old, yeah. Ah. You don't dye your hair yet. It isn't. I mean, the blondes do have more fun, I must admit, Tracy. Yeah. I don't really want to be grey, but I'm just fed up of dyeing it. But I know I'll do it again. I know I will say, I'll go so far and it'll grow that bit more, and then I'll just get up one day and think, that's it. Well, the tempting thing is I've got a box of the dye in my drawer. So it's not that hard, is it, to do it? You know what I mean? It's like calling to me. So I know I'll do it again. It'll get near my birthday and I think, oh, I'm not going to be grey for my birthday. I'm going to do blonde again because I'll be going out. Hey, I told you all I'm going to Yarn Fest in September. I'm really looking forward to that. You're blonde out of a bottle. So am I, dear. Don't let it worry us. Not ashamed to admit it. It's died. There's no shame in our game, is there? Yeah, well, I sold some of the wool. I haven't gained my money back. No way. I've probably got about half of what I paid for everything. But at least I've got the money for what I paid for the coach and the ticket to go into Yarndale, which is what I'd set out to do. Yeah. I would have loved to have made millions, but you know, it's not going to happen, is it? I have listed more on eBay if you're in the UK. Sorry if you're in the US, but I am not paying well, you'd be paying it, wouldn't you? The astronomical cost of postage. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, I'm actually parting company with some of my ice yarn, which is breaking my heart because I know I'll never buy it again. The postage plus the tax and the VAT and everything that they're putting on it, it more than doubles the price of the ice yarn in the first place. So, so no, I won't be buying it again. People have asked me, am I parting with me ice magic? No way. Me rainbow wool, there's no way I'm parting with that. That's coming with me, my grave, if I haven't used it up. My next ambition is to sell some of the garments out the shed, and then I can have more room. It's a bit awkward, really, because most of my sales went to the US. So I don't think I've quite got the market over here in the UK. I can but try. Oh, who told you that? Who is the boss of you, Kaz? Who told you you can't buy anymore? Whoever it was, throw them out. Sure, I was throw them out. Yes, you're right, Sean. Tell them to bog off. I'm not buying any more wool, but it is my decision. If anybody told me not to, I would just go out and get some. I'm a great one for that. If somebody tells me I can't do something, I want to go and do it. No, well, it's not your daughter's money that you're spending, is it, Kaz? You're going out to work, you're earning the money. Tell them not to buy so much makeup and stop buying a load of clothes and going out for nights out, yeah? Well, tell it off, Charlotte. I think my brain goes off on a holiday on its own. I forget people's names. I do. I forget where I'm going. Go in a room and I think, why have I come in here? I think, oh, I'll write that on my shopping list. Walk into the kitchen to the shopping list and I forgot what I was going to write down. But it's nothing to do with Alzheimer's. I've just always been a bit that way. Yeah, they buy lots of makeup and clothes. So you say, right, I'll stop buying wool when you stop buying makeup and clothes. It's a truce. Why is it kids think they can tell you what to do? My son thinks he can tell me what to do. Oh, I was upset today. I'd ordered a hooded fleece, and when it come, it's too small. I think it was Chinese sizes, even though it's come from the UK. I can just about put it on if I haven't got anything if I had something flimsy. But I could never wear it in the winter because I couldn't get it over a cardigan. I can't be bothered sending it back. It wasn't that expensive, so I'll see if my daughter-in-law wants it. Yeah, don't tell me son what to buy. You know, they spend money on silly stuff. I don't say, oh, what are you buying that for? But it's my decision to get rid of some of my wool. It's nobody else telling me to do it. If it was somebody telling me to do it, I wouldn't do it. Yeah. I'd say, no, I'm keeping it on. But it was me who decided. I thought, no, I need the money to go to Yarndale. Oh, I've got a message from my knitting group. They watch Create and Craft on the television, and it's Soft Craft Sunday tomorrow, whatever that is. Huh? Oh, apparently they're selling chocolates in the supermarket already. Christmas. Where's she been? Asda have got the Christmas chocolates on sale. Oh dear. You don't want the I don't drink decaffeinated stuff. Christmas is cancelled, is it? It will be cancelled if we get that price rise. Oh no, we're not talking about that, are we? Price rise in energy. Whoa. I know that's what they said on here. They said, "Why are the Christmas chocolates out when we haven't had Halloween yet?" I don't like Halloween. My friend always decorates up for Halloween. I just don't like it. I've never liked Halloween, and it's just like that. Oh, hi, Isaac. I see your pigeon made a good recovery and you let it back into the nature wild, yeah? Oh, Christmas I don't mind, but I don't like Halloween. It's a kind of a made-up festival, isn't it, Halloween? It's All Hallows Eve, isn't it, when the ghosts get up and walk. Yeah. But it's not Halloween with ghosties, ooh, and people knocking on your door and pumpkins and all. Where's all that come from? It's got nothing to do with All Hallows Eve. I don't want people knocking on my darn door, handing out candies and toffees. What's wrong with everybody's teeth? Who started that silly idea? It's begging, isn't it? Going at the doors and begging. I don't open my door. They can knock all they want, but they don't come in here. I'm Scrooge. When I lived on my own, I used to turn all the lights off and go and sit in the other room. Yeah. It's scary when you live on your own. Anyway, you don't know to open the door. It's dark. And you don't know who it is. I mean, man, yeah, Rosie wouldn't let anybody in. Oh, Americans love it. My friend loves it. I don't know why. We haven't got many kids round here where we've moved to, so. And where I lived before, I suppose the kids are growing up now, but they were all babies where I lived before, so nobody knocked on the door because they were all in bed by the time it was dark. Yeah. Hi, Jean. We've got kids next door, but they're too old to bother. We've got little ones across the road that might bother, but they didn't knock on last year. No, I don't celebrate Halloween at all. My friend says, "Oh, do you want a wreath for your door?" No, I do not want a wreath on my door. I do not want any skulls or carryings on or anything. I don't want to know. No, when I was a kid, it was scary because it was All Hallows Eve. It was when the ghost was supposed to get up and walk. And being a sort of imaginative type of child, I used to imagine that, the graveyard would like come alive and stuff, yeah. How we buy wool. I've got a lady here at my knit club. She is into all kinds of crafting. And she says she's going to be watching, but she won't be buying anything. Now, that is a laugh, Sue. Sue will buy something. She's more into sewing, though, crafting and what do you call it, like the patchwork stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it's bank holiday. The only thing it means to me is that the post office is shut. And also the bank will be shut and I need to send a payment through. Oh, my light's flashing. Um, oh yeah, I've got Tuesday's the 30th. They won't be open. They'll be open Wednesday the 31st. So I've got to make a payment by the end of the month. Otherwise, they stick penalties on you and stuff. Sue, she's busy at the minute because sadly her next door neighbour is very poorly and not expected to live much longer. So she's been helping her husband to look after her. So I haven't really had much of a conversation with her because every evening she goes in to sit with this lady. Um, I don't know how long it will be that she'll be doing this. I know it sounds pessimistic, but she isn't well at all, this lady. So I haven't really been bothering Sue because I know she's busy. I know she's sort of up to here and she's very upset. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's, stage 4 terminal and all that. So I haven't been really bothering her because I don't think she's in the mood for me whittling and wattling and prattling and carrying on when she's got all that on her plate at the minute. I'm sure we'll get back to it, yeah. And as for Kelly, I've not heard a peep out of Kelly for more than 12 months now, so I just gave her up as a bad job. I sent her a message when it was her birthday, but I never got a reply. I know she's working and that, so I don't know. I think I've been crossed off the friends list. We make new lives, don't you, when you move? Oh gosh, what are the phones? It's my knitting group. They're all chatting about creating craft. They're all telling me that I shouldn't do myself down because I said I can't sew. I mean, I've been going to put a new zip in my. I think I told you that Trixie ate the zip at 2 of the teeth, right in the middle of me really good fleece. So I got myself a zip, but it's not heavy enough, really. Sandy says she's not going to buy anything either, but she likes to watch. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Watch this space. I will find out what you have bought on Wednesday. Yeah, I lost my neighbour. I've lost Tony really as well. Because when you move away, you sort of, he did used to phone me a lot, but I mean, thankfully he has made new friends now, which I am very, very glad about because when his partner passed away, he was like the rest, obviously. So I'm glad actually he's found a new lot of friends now. So I don't hear from him as much now as I used to. I mean, when he was next door, he used to pop in nearly every day. I didn't mind because he was grieving and it was his way of dealing with his grief. And I'm always there if anybody wants to talk to me. Um, so I'm really, really grateful that he has found friends now and he actually doesn't need to talk to me, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, that was Tony, yeah. He still rings me, but I mean, at least, I mean, I won't say he's got over it because you don't get over the death of a partner, do you? But he's come to terms with, I think, is more the word I would say. He's more accepting of it now. Whereas at first he didn't know what day it was at first, yeah. It was expected, we knew it was going to happen, but it's still a shock when it does, yeah. Especially when she was only 50. No age at all. But sadly, cancer is no respect. It doesn't respect who you are, what you are. It doesn't. Like, go and plug yourself in, Sean. I had to plug mine in because I was that busy talking to Nathan earlier on. Or texting Nathan, I should say. I ran my battery down. Oh, dear. And I've been a busy bee all day. No, sadly, they didn't have any children. Um, it was ovarian cancer, and um, she lived 10, 12 years after it was diagnosed. So she had to have a hysterectomy. So There was no chance of any children, yeah. She waited while the right man came along, and then when he did come along, it was too late, yeah. Always the way of the world, isn't it, yeah. She had her dog Buddy, if you can remember Buddy. He was a Cocker Spaniel, and I used to look after him. I was the dog look after her, weren't I? I looked after Gigi. Sadly, Gigi passed away. Not while I had him, thankfully. If he'd have passed away when I had him, I would have been bereft. He passed away after I'd moved here. And Buddy passed away in Scotland. He'd gone to Scotland and he passed away in Scotland, Buddy. So then we lost our puppy. God, it was a blooming year last year. It wasn't the year for dogs, that was for sure. Mine, it's about 6, 7 years since I lost my Buster, and I could still cry if I talk about him now, yeah. And little Gigi, oh my goodness, little Gigi. There's a tiny little dog, and I know him through his family. They come to singing, and he's the tiniest little Chihuahua, and he's called Sonny, and oh, he's adorable, absolutely adorable. I could snatch him up and give him kisses. He's just the kind that you could put in your handbag, you know, the pocket, yeah. He's so tiny. He's not a teacup. He's a bit bigger than a teacup one. But I absolutely gravitate to any Chihuahuas. You know, on the seafront. Everybody here has got a dog. Some people, 2 dogs. Some people, 3 and 4. But I absolutely gravitate toward a Chihuahua. Oh, here we go. Oh, yes, my coffee's a lot better, isn't it? Yeah. Hi, Melly. Come out of what's Wawa? Wawa? You doing back to school shopping? Yeah, we were singing at a shopping precinct on Tuesday, and we were near the Clark's shoe shop, you know, where all the kids were going to get their back to school shoes. So we had a bit of a captive audience that kept walking around, yeah. Yeah, it's sad, yeah. Oh, it's like a little grocery store, right? Okay, okay. Oh, sorry if I'm deafening it. I really am sorry. Oh, my goodness me. I've got a sweetie in my drawer. Hi, Magali. I need to get a sweetie. I'm choking. You have to excuse me for a moment. I've got a Werther's Original. It might stop me coughing. It's a sucky sweet, yeah. Well, it would if I could ever get in the thing. They used to be much bigger than this, didn't they? They're like little free samples these days. They used to be big and round, didn't they? So sorry if I'm clacking, but I have to stop myself from coughing. They're telling me they're not going to buy anything. I'll watch this space. I don't believe them. I want to start crocheting, but I know that I won't finish this sleeve if I pick up any crochet, so I'm being firm with myself. I'm saying, nope, nope, no, finish this sleeve. Mm. These sweets have been too long in the drawer. They've gone sugary. You know when you get that sugar all around the outside? Mm. Oh, I'll be in trouble. I'm in trouble anyway with my diabetes. She had to cancel my appointment on Thursday. I'm supposed to ring up to make another one. I haven't bothered yet. Well, they're closed until Tuesday anyway. And I'll not ring Tuesday because everybody will be ringing the doctor, so I'll be like number 74 in the queue. Even when you ring on a good day, you're number 10 in the queue. So I'll give it a miss on Tuesday. I might ring her on Wednesday. Well, actually, I might go in because I've got to call up on Tuesday to get my prescription. I should have gone up on Friday, but I was looking after the kids and, well, not the kids, the fur kids. And it's never ready. When you go, it's never ready. And I thought, I can't sit and wait and leave the dogs on their own for hours. So I didn't bother going. So actually, I'm going to run out of my pills tomorrow. So Monday, I won't have any. So, ha ha ha. Sure, I won't die. But they better be ready on Tuesday, otherwise, heads will roll. I'll try not to, Isaac, yeah. Very inconvenient if I die, isn't it? Who's going to do Saturday Night Live? You'd have to draw lots, wouldn't you? Who takes over from me when I die? Well, if I don't stop coughing, it's a touch and go. Hey, I'll give you prior warning if I'm thinking of going, Isaac, right? What'll I do for you? Maybe you can nurse me back to health like you nurse your pigeons, yeah? He's a pigeon whisperer, is Isaac. Oh, if I get them, I can get them delivered if I wait another 3 days. I'd ring up, then it'd be 2 days before it gets to the chemist, and then I'd have to wait another 3 days for them to deliver it. So I'd have to order them at least a week before I needed them. And then they won't tell you what time they're coming, whether they're coming morning, noon, evening. So you have to be in all day if you want them delivered. Otherwise, they take them back again if you're not in. Because for obvious reasons, they won't leave them on the doorstep. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting there, look, I'm getting there. There's a chance I might finish it by the end of the month. Yeah. Family coming home tomorrow, I think, anyway. Yeah, he is. He's a pigeon whisperer. He rescues pigeons that are on their last legs, nurses them back to health, and then releases them back into the wild. No pigeons over here, Isaac. You'd have to be a seagull whisperer if you came over here. And noisy things. Wah, 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 first thing in the morning. When I first came here, I thought, oh, how lovely. It sounds like I'm on my holidays, like I'm by the sea. And after 18 months, you're like, shut up. They are noisy. Blooming seagulls here. Noisy as anything. And they swoop down and pinch your sandwiches and pinch anything that's going. If you stood on the seafront with ice cream, they'll pinch the ice cream off you. The signs everywhere saying, don't feed the seagulls. You don't need to. They just swoop, pinch everything. There was a lady sat in an outside cafe the other day. She had a scone and she put one end of the scone down while she was eating the other, and it came and whipped her scone. Yeah, it landed on the table and pinched her scone. They're like cheeky things. And I never realised how big they were till we actually moved here. They are huge. They're not seagulls round here, they're eagles. They're massive things they are. The cars here are always decorated. You know, yeah, if you wash your car like that, all over. Bravery, they're so cheeky eyes. They just go on the seafront cafes and stand on the tables if you don't watch them. You have to shoo them off. They are very, very cheeky seagulls here. Never mind about bravery, they're just cheeky. Oh dear, here we go. I need to count my rows in a bit. See if I'm anywhere near the armhole shaping. Did you see that crochet top I put a picture on? It's by Mui or something. MUI. And it's done in like part rows of all different colours. You don't do a full row in a colour, it's not a stripe. It's like a this bit and that bit. And apparently Cardi B wore it and the skirt at some whatever. And the little top alone was £820. Anyway, there's a lady. I put a little video link. There's a lady made one with all her ornaments. And it looks just the same. And she's made a bucket hat to match as well. But £820 for a top that's made in like oddments, yeah. I suppose if Cardi B wears, whoever Cardi B is, then I suppose everybody wants one, don't they? I don't suppose the people around here will have them unless Primark start doing them. I wish I could sell my shawls, Kaz. I could do with a fortune right now, like we all do. If I could sell my shawls for $820, I could be not a millionaire, but I could have a nice nest egg in the shed alone. But it just doesn't happen in the UK, does it? Oh, yeah, Primark. Actually, I watched a program. I didn't set out to watch a program on Primark, but it was on TV the other night, so I finished up watching it. Mainly because I was listing me things on eBay, and I just sort of the TV was just wallowing away in the background. Yeah. Hi, Busy Bee. Hi, Becca. Yeah, we're doing okay. Doing okay. I don't know about the others, but I'm not doing so bad. I've got my cough, but apart from that, I'm all right. Yeah. Yeah, we're just talking about little crocheted tops from I don't know how you pronounce it. Mui, MUI. That are costing £820 for a little teeny weeny skimpy top done in different colours. And we're just saying we're in the wrong business. If I made one, they'd probably want to give me about £10 for it, yeah. And all them ends you've had to darn in here. You could use all your oddments up, Kaz, and make one for your daughters. Tell her that Cardi B wears them. Now I've got hiccups. Oh, I'm going to have to count my rows in a minute. So not in the mood for doing that. Whee! I just wish there was a few more holes in my shed. Oh, God, yeah, there's a girl that comes on. She's called Erin B. She's just been knitting a top with all these ladders in, and I'm thinking, why? It's like the jeans with the big holes in, isn't it? Yeah, my jumpers used to have accidental ladders in them, yeah. And you had to hook them up, didn't you? With a crochet hook and darn them in. Trying not to let it show where you had the hole. It's a sleeve to a cardigan. It's my last sleeve, thank goodness. I have been knitting this. I think it's one of the longest projects I've ever knitted. And I refuse to start anything else until I've actually finished this. Because I know if I pick up my crochet hook, that'll be the end. I used to have to hook up. My mum used to wear surgical stockings because she had really, really bad veins. And they were terribly, terribly expensive back in the day. And I used to have a tiny, tiny little crochet hook. And I used to be hooking up her ladders. And then you could buy like a silky thread that was like stockings colours, you know. And I used to have to darn them for my mum because her eyesight was never that good. And back in the day, I had good eyes, yeah. But I mean, now if you said to anybody that you used to darn your tights or something, you know, they'd look at you as if you're potty. But comparatively speaking, tights are now a lot cheaper than they used to be when I was a girl, yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear me. It's all right, I'm just having a little quiet choke to myself. You wouldn't believe how many times people used to come in the shop and they used to work the pattern up until the armholes. And then when they had to start decreasing for the armholes, they couldn't do it. And they used to say to me, oh, why don't they write out every row? And I'm like, you know, you're supposed to have memorised the cable pattern by the time you get to the armhole, yeah? And lacy patterns, oh my God, people could not get the hang of them. They could only follow the pattern row by row by row by row. As soon as they come to loose stitches at either side for the armhole shaping, no, couldn't do it. I used to spend hours of my life in the shop trying to sort people's knitting out. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 34, 36, 38, 40. 80. 82. I need to write 82 down. thought there's a big plane just gone over. Either that or it's a helicopter. I'll write 82. Because if I don't write 82 down, I'll have forgotten what I just counted. Brain, gone. Right, let's have a go at this one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 18, 20, 22, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60. I've got a way to go. 62, 64, 66, 68, 70. I've got another 12 row to go. Oh. Let me write 12 down. I'll use my row counter. I wish I could do patchwork. I am hopeless at sewing. I didn't used to be too bad at sewing when I was younger, but now my sewing looks like a cat's crawled over it. My hems used to be so neat when I did them by hand. But now the eyes and the grip and everything's gone. I perplex everybody because I sew the wrong way. I don't know whether you're supposed to sew with your right to left, is it? But I go the opposite way. I know when people see me hemming, they go, oh God, you're going the wrong way. I will do, Jean. Yeah, I'll probably speak to her maybe tomorrow. I don't know. It's hard to judge when is the best time to actually phone her because she's trying to keep the garden. She's got lots of fruit trees and fruit trees and bushes and vegetables and things in her garden. So she's if it's fine, she's in the garden, so she doesn't hear the phone. And she works 3 mornings a week now. So, you know, it's trying to... I usually send her a little text message saying, are you in for a phone call? Then I usually get one back saying, I'll phone you later. And sometimes she does and sometimes she doesn't. I couldn't do diamond painting. I haven't got the dexterity in my fingers. I'd have them all over the floor. I haven't got the patience for things like that. It's like cross stitch. I've no patience for cross stitch. I knit and I crochet. I sew under duress, but I don't make things, if you know what I mean. But I'm not multi-talented at all. I wish I could do more crafts. I did try macrame once and I did try tatting once, but neither of them floated me boat, you know. Some people can turn their hands to all sorts, can't they? But I'm not. And I've got worse as I got older. I think I find it a lot more difficult to learn a new craft now since I've got older. I think my brain's full. Sue can do macrame. She made me a little pot holder thing, little plant holder thing. I don't know where it is. I think it's in the conservatory. It was hanging on the window catch, but I haven't seen it for a while. It's somewhere around. At least you can do something, Carol, if you can knit. Some people can't even knit. They just sit and go like a TV because they can't do anything else. How do they do that? How do they sit and just slump and watch the telly like that and don't do anything? You know, I can't sit. Mind you, just recently I have been sitting and falling asleep mostly because of this bad cough. But usually I have to be knitting or crocheting while I'm sitting in front of the telly. I would find it so boring. You know, I would have to do something if it was only a jigsaw or something. Yeah, I can't just sit and watch. I have been doing recently because I've been not well, but normally I cannot just sit and watch TV. I just fall asleep if I'm not doing anything. As you can see, the coffee's a lot better. Not. It's worse at this time of night. I don't know whether it's the colder night air coming in or what, because I have to have the door open for the doggies, you know, so that they can wander in and out to the garden at will. You know, because the big one is great. She'll tell me she wants to go out, but the little one, no. You have to remind the little one to go out. If the door's not open, she'll just whittle wherever she happens to be, yeah. Even though she's supposed to be trained. But I believe French bulldogs are very, very stubborn and they do what they want, yeah. You know, if I say to Rosie, do this, do that, she does it. If I say to Trixie, do this, she goes, make me. Oh, they do. They absolutely adore me when there's nobody else here. But I'm definitely way down in the pecking order. You know, as soon as the parents come home, that's grandma's out the window, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, hello, it's you. Yeah. Rosie is the more loving. She's very, very loving, is Rosie. She's such a sweet little thing, but she's very, very nervous, yeah. We can't get out of her nervousness. I don't know why she's so nervous. She's nervous if anybody comes to the door. She's nervous if anybody comes in the house. And we don't know why. You know, I know she was a street dog, like, but she was in a compound from being a tiny puppy. So, you know, and she's been with us now for about nearly 18 months. Well, about 14 months. We've certainly not scared her. You know, she certainly gets, you know, the best of treatment here. She's never been ill-treated or anything here. So I don't know why she's so nervous. If you go to stroke her sometimes, she ducks her head down like that, and I don't know why, because nobody's ever touched her. You know, nobody's ever hit her or anything. So I don't know why she shies away like that when you go near her head sometimes. Not all the time. But if you go to stroke her and she's not like prepared, she's like, oh, what's that? Well, she's a street dog, but she was sort of all, well, I don't know whether she's born in a compound, but she was in a compound from being newborn, yeah. So it's not like she's been kicked or anything like that, as far as we know. But she's very, very nervous. We have to have a yellow lead on her saying, I am nervous, you know. Because the way she reacts is she won't non-stop barking. She's not as bad when she's with me. Because I just tell her, that's a good girl for letting me know. You're so clever, blah, de, blah, de, blah. Now you've let me know we can stop barking now, Rosie. And she calms down a lot more, yeah. You want a robin bird? Oh, what a robin bird. Diamond painted. Oh, I couldn't do them to save me soul. I couldn't. I'd have them all over the floor. We'd be finding them little drill things everywhere. I once did painting by numbers, but that was when I was a girl. Somebody's snoring. It'll probably be Trixie. I'll be glad when I'm sleeping on my own tomorrow night. She's only that big, Trixie, but my God, she's on the move all night long. And she takes up all the bed, even though she's tiny. I mean, I've slept with a blooming box across, and he was far less trouble than she is. And Gigi used to sleep on my pillow at the top of my head. Gigi was such a little cuddle bunny. He was, honestly. And so clean. We never had an accident with Gigi. I was supposed to be seeing their 2 new dogs, actually, but it was the weekend. It was tram weekend. My son's car had broken down and the mechanic was coming. And my family was coming. Well, their family was coming as well. So I had to tell them that it wasn't a good weekend to come. So I don't know when they're going to come and see me now. Oh, got an itchy back, sorry. Where would we be without a back scratcher? Look at that, lethal fingers. Ooh. But it works. I always get an itchy back the minute I get into bed. I don't know whether anybody else does. I'm like, eh. Now I've got to look online when everybody's gone off to get myself a new zip, because this zip I've got isn't. I think that's why I haven't bothered taking the other zip out of my fleece. You get sucked in. A bit like my friends with the create and craft. They get sucked in. I don't sew, you see, so I don't get sucked into embroidery machines and stuff like that. I don't want to add any more strings to my bow. I'm bad enough with the knitting and crocheting without starting on embroidery as well. But they do some fantastic stuff, the girls that go to the evening knit club I go to. Oh, they do some amazing embroidery, on the machines. And they sew lovely bags, that all fold up in. Oh, they're so clever. Hi, Lydia. The lady who crochets all the amigurumis, she's made a beautiful bag all in granny squares. I'm like, quite like that. But I've bought some like cotton market bags that I want to use as a liner, because I don't want to just use the granny squares, because everything pokes through the holes, doesn't it, if you don't watch out. So I want to have a liner in mine. But I've got lots of bits and pieces and oddments left over from when I was making those, the festival tops. So I've got lots of bits and pieces. And I've still got to do the second granny square throw, which I'm not even thinking about, because I just don't like the colours. Everybody goes, oh, it's so pretty and pastel. And I'm like, If I don't like something, I find it very difficult to crochet. That's why I hated doing orders, because people would ask me for the most things in the most colours. Then I used to be loathing doing them. And it got to the stage where I wasn't enjoying my crocheting because they were orders and they wanted them, and I had a time limit to do them in, and they wanted horrible colours, and I'll have it in brown. Oh, God. Who wants a sweater in brown? And can I have it in fine? Because I'm like a 62-inch bust. Oh, God, no, it was soul destroying. No. I'm a fluffy person. No, you're not a fluffy person. You're fat. Ugh. Yeah. I mean, I do patterns and that, and people used to say, does the pattern go up to a 6X? And I'm like, no, it doesn't go up to a 6X. Well, can you tell me how to make it in a 6X? No, I can't go on a diet. Who in the world thinks it's normal to be 6X? I'm a big girl. I'm a fatty. Oh, you fell on your wrist again. Oh, I can't work on colours I don't like now. Or if I don't like the yarn, if it squeaks or... And the same if I don't like the pattern. You know, if I don't like... If the pattern doesn't flow. I mean, at one time I would stick it out. I would think it's not going to get the better of me. I will do this pattern. But now I think, I'm not enjoying it. I'm not doing it anymore. To me, crocheting or knitting is about the enjoyment that you get through actually doing it, yeah? You never heard of a 6X? I got asked to make things for a 6X, believe me. When I used to do orders. I couldn't even imagine what size a 6X would be. And especially when they say, and don't make it long because I'm only short. And I've got this vision of this little squat person with enormous boobs. And I'm like, no. I had a lady wanting me to make her a crop top. I'm like, are you serious? Well, you know, why can I not wear a crop top? Because you'll look flipping ridiculous in a crop top. Crop tops are for little girls. Oh, yeah. I used to get asked that. I'd quote a price for something that was like a 36-inch bust. And they'd say, do you do it in a 6X or something like that? And when you say, well, it'll be about 3 times the price. And they go, but why? And I say, A, it takes like 3 times as much wool. B, it will take me 3 times as long to do it. Yeah? So therefore, it's a custom order. So that's why it's 3 times the price. Oh, well, it's only so much on your Etsy shop. And I'm like, hello. I say, well, I'm sorry, I just can't do it for you, you know? Or can I have it in fine yarn because I'm a big girl and I don't want anything too heavy? No, I cannot make it for that price. And then they'll say, oh, my mother-in-law cross. I said, well, go and ask your mother-in-law to do it then. Sorry, mate. It got to me so much, I was like stressing and I was getting all wound up. And I was picking up my crocheting and I could feel myself stressing. And I thought, no, this is just ridiculous. I'm just not doing this anymore. I've got certain things that I'm going to sell, but do I take any orders anymore? No. You just broke a nail, oh shame. I haven't got nails. I used to have long nails on this hand at one time. And they all snapped off one by one. But when they snapped off right down at the wick, you know, where they saw. I didn't snap the ends off, I just snapped the whole thing off. It just put me off. Because they're sore when they break down there. And all this gluing it up and sticking sellotape on and painting your nail polish on doesn't work. They still fall off. And I can't do with fake nails. I'm like that with a fake nail. I can't pick anything up. I had them on once, put them on once when I was going somewhere. I thought, oh, I'll have nice nails, you know. But they grow out and they just like bumps. Oh. And then they make a mess of your own nail underneath. My niece used to have them. She stopped doing them now because her nails were all yellow and horrible underneath when she took them off in the end. After she'd had them on for about 18 months, 2 years or something. Different ones, mind you, you know. But her nails got so discoloured she had to just grow them out. I thought, no. It's all right if you're going to a wedding or something, isn't it? And you want to have nice. But I couldn't be doing with them all the time. How do you wash up and stuff? How do you clean? With great big long nails like talons. But those women get me, you know, the ones with the big long curly fingernails. How do they cope? You know, how do they go to the bathroom? I don't want to be too graphic about it, but you know what I mean? They've got nails like that. But they're not attractive, are they? Because when they grow that long, they start curling round. And I'm like, what makes you think they're attractive? You can't even get dressed or do your bra up, could you, if you had fingernails about 12 inches long? No, when I had nails, they were just, just to the end of my fingers. Oh, you don't have to clean. Well, what about cleaning yourself, though? Or is that too personal a subject? Yeah. Scratch yourself to death when you go for a shower? Or do you have people who bathe you? How do you cook? You couldn't chop anything up, could you, with those kind of nails? Oh, no. They must be fake women. It's like these women with the big lips and false eyelashes that look like they've got mice attached to the end of their eyelids. I don't understand why they think they look attractive. They look like clones, don't they? Because they all look alike now. You know, they've always got the same hairstyles, haven't they? They've always got the big hoop earrings, big fake lashes, those weirdy eyebrows, haven't they got some weird eyebrows these days? And then these big duck lips, and fake boobs, of course. And then they've always got to have a spray tan. And I'm like, you're not an individual anymore. You're just following the herd. You just look all alike. You can't tell one from the other, can you? You could interchange them, couldn't you? Because they all look alike. Oh, they don't have jobs, do they? They all want to be celebrities. I can't watch these reality shows because they're all nobodies that want to be somebody, aren't they? What are they famous for? They're famous for being famous, or famous for having a following on TikTok. Yeah. I would rather be individual than look like everybody else. I don't want to look like everybody else. Even when I was a kid, I was the same. I used to make a lot of my own clothes because I couldn't stand looking like anybody else. Yeah. I wanted my own style of things, and I can't understand why they all want to look alike. Yeah. I'd rather be an individual. Dress the way I want, not the way society thinks I should dress. I don't want to look like the next girl. You see them out on a Saturday night and they're all like little clones, aren't they? They all look the same. I often wonder what their boyfriends must think when they wake up with this different person, when she hasn't got the eyelids on the eyelashes and she hasn't got the fake extensions in, you know, and she hasn't got like this big orange makeup on that looks like it's been put on with a roller. I feel sorry for men because they don't know who the heck they're going out with, do they? What does she really look like underneath all that stuff? And especially when they use those apps on TikTok and Instagram to make themselves look different. It's no wonder they have inferiority complexes, is it? Because they can't live up to their own photo. You're going on a blind date and this guy's expecting the person who they've seen on Instagram. And this different woman turns up. Thank God the face for putting whiskers on seems to have faded out. Whiskers and ears. Everybody on Instagram was whiskers and ears and stuff. At least now they seem to have stopped that. Now they're just doing the blur, aren't they? So they all look gorgeous. They're slimming their noses down and ugh. Oh God, yeah. You remember the whisker phase where everybody had whiskers on their noses, didn't they? Making themselves look like a cat, yeah. And those big eyebrows, what's with that? God, honestly. You know, when I had big eyebrows, I had them plucked out. But now they've got big slugs over each eye. Nearly as bad as the 20s and the 30s where they used to shave them off and do a pencil. Oh, they do. They look weird, don't they, Isaac? I do feel sorry for guys today. Because you must wonder what on earth you're going out with. You know, when she takes all that junk off her face, you know. Hiya, Brandon. How are you, dear? Not seen you for ages. It's okay. I hope you've got a nice life that you're going out and about instead of missing us lot. I hope you've got a nightlife now that COVID's more or less over. Well, not over, but you know, been relaxed, hasn't it? Now you can go out and about a bit. Yeah, why would you want plastic surgery for wrinkles and Botox when you're in your 20s? I can understand people doing it when they're in their 50s and their 60s, you know, when they want to sort of slow time. I would never have it done. I don't want anything fake put in my face. You don't know what it's like poison, what it's doing, isn't it? To your body when you're shoving all this. I mean, when you're like 20, you've got all your life ahead of you. You could be shoving stuff in your body that you're going to really regret. I mean, what's a 70-odd year old woman going to look like with fake boobs? Ridiculous. I mean, look at that Donatella, as she called. Hasn't she spoiled herself? She was quite a decent looking woman at one time. Now she looks like a freak. That's what all that facelifting and Botoxing does. I'd not bother. Donatella Versace. Oh dear. Well, you have to have your boobies changed every 10 years. Oh, God. Oh, sorry about coughing. Oh, I know those duck lips. When you think of all the flack that black people have had over the years about them having, you know, big lips, they used to be called rubber lips, they used to be called all sorts of things. And it was like a bad thing, wasn't it, to have big lips? And now everybody's doing it, aren't they? It's, you know, why do they want to be like that? Why not be happy with what you've got given? I can understand if you've been scarred in some way or another. I can understand you having plastic surgery, you know, or if you've been born with a cleft lip for, you know, cleft palate and stuff like that. That I can understand why people do have plastic surgery. And oh yeah, everybody's got great big horse teeth, aren't they, that are pearly white? Nobody's teeth look like that. Well, when they're old, they're not going to have the money, are they, to upkeep? They're not going to be able to replace their boobs every 10 years when they're on the pension, are they? They're not going to be able to have Botox when they're on the pension, are they? So they'll probably look far worse than what people who are natural do. It's natural, isn't it? Have wrinkles. It's natural to go older. Oh, I've frozen. Oh, I'm moving again. It's not natural to be unlined, is it, when you're in your 70s? You know, that's the way of the world. You're not supposed to be stretched like you've been. I've nearly got up to the Arnold's girls. Another 4 rows, and I'll be there. Ooh. There's a chance it might get finished before the end of the month. No, Jane is the one with Christine and the oh, what are they called? Those soldier things, nutcrackers, nutcracker doll things, aren't you, Jane? I cannot remember names at all. It takes me about 6 months to remember anybody's name. When I first started doing these lives, I had a bit of paper with everybody's name written down. What their name was on here, like Kazraz, and what she was actually called. I could never remember. It's not so bad now because most people have their proper names on when they come on here, so it's not too bad. Yeah, you're nutcracker soldiers. Yeah. I don't have a theme really. I like elephants. I've got quite a few elephants. But I don't really have a theme. Like some people collect frogs, don't they? Some people collect whatever. I have one or two ornaments of elephants, but apart from that, no, I don't really. Oh, you're lurking, are you right? Oh. I was watching Stevie by the Sea um, yesterday, the videos. She's done some lovely cardigans. She likes them in brightly colours, but they're all in that, is it chevron stitch? She absolutely loves the chevron stitch, so she's got them in all different colours. All right, see you later, BB. Busy bee, not BB, busy bee. Oh, I'm out of sync, am I? Oh, well, that's probably me. I probably am out of sync. Yeah, she had some lovely cardigans. They were all in the chevron stitch. And she also had a lovely cardigan. She likes doing, yeah, Chris is on here, yeah. She likes doing bubble stitch. So she had like patches done in bubble stitch that she'd made into a cardigan. So it was patchwork, but it was all in different colours of the bubble stitch. It was really pretty. But like she said, people keep asking her to write the pattern down, and she said you have to wait a long time. She's like me, I can't write a pattern out to save my soul. If I write a pattern out, I don't even understand it the second time round. I've tried doing that, and I've made one up out my head. I've tried writing it down, but even I don't understand it, so there's no chance of anybody else understanding it. Plus the fact I only use UK terms of crocheting, which would confuse everybody, because nearly everybody seems to crochet in US terms, especially if they're beginners, because that's the way they've learnt. They've learnt with YouTube, and it's all US terms. Whereas I taught myself with UK terms when I was a kid with a book. So I always have to stop and think before I start anything. Is it a UK book? Is it a US book? I remember a lady said to me one time, I wish they wouldn't do things in UK terms. Why can't they all be in US terms? And I went, well, we're in the UK. We think the same thing. Why can't your patterns, be in UK terms? It's just the same for us. Well, us older ones, yeah. As I say, it's not the same for the younger ones because they understand the US terms better than we do. I always have to stop and think, is that a UK double crochet or is it an American double crochet? Because if it's an American double crochet, it's a treble to me. Yeah, that's why I could never write patterns, because I think in UK terms and I write in UK terms. And when I'm talking to people, when they ask me what kind of stitch did you do, I'll say it's trebles, and they go, "Oh yeah, no, it's double crochet." Oh, I think, oh, forget it. Everybody thinks they're the first, and everybody thinks they've got the right terminology. I just have to stop and think: is it an American book? Is it an English book? Oh my goodness me! She might only be little, but my God, is she snoring? I'm up to the shaping. I look usually at the beginning of the book, and if it starts saying things like a G crochet hook, it's American, yeah? Because we don't use the letters of the alphabet for our crochet hooks. We only use the millimeters. So that's one way you can tell. And also in England, we don't put number 4 or number 3 weight next to the wool. We have double knit Aran 4-ply. Whereas if it's an American book, it will say weight number 4, weight number 3. So that's one way. Yeah, but they call everything tricot, don't they? Whether it's knit or it's crochet. Well, they did originally. They used to call everything tricot. Tricot. They didn't have a different word for knit and crochet. Oh dear. The French bulldog has just done a whiffy. Oh, for such a little thing, she can clear a room. If Nathan's on here, he can tell you what it's like, because he's got one. They are certainly whiffy. Oh dear. They're worse than any man who's been on the beer. When they've been on beer and kebabs and they wake up the following morning and you're like, oh my God, yeah. She's worse than that. My son used to drink Guinness at one time. And he used to drink Guinness and he used to go and call for a kebab or a curry on the way home. And the following day, oh my goodness me, open all the windows. Oh, it's like the people, Jane, who always want a tutorial for everything. The number of people who used to say to me, can you make a tutorial? And I kept saying, no, I can't. I don't have the equipment. I don't have the money to buy the right kind of cameras and the lighting. And also, it's not my pattern. And it's copyright. If I wanted to show you how to do a pattern that was somebody else's pattern, I would have to write to the person or email the person and ask them for their permission to use their pattern. And people don't get that at all. They don't get the copyright bit. It's like when they used to say to me, can you do me a photocopy? Can you do this? I said, no, I can't. I'm breaking the law. Although so many people do. Because the number of times I go on Etsy and there's patterns for sale on there that come from the magazine that I've just bought. And they've just copied the pattern out and they've got it for sale. And I'm like, you can't do that. You're not the designer. You know, it's a minefield. And I know that if I did it, I'd get into trouble because I'm the kind of person who always gets into trouble if I do one tiny thing wrong. But so I won't. You know, people think I was being awkward when you say, no, I'm not photocopying. And then they start all the trail about, oh, I'm a pensioner and I'm on benefits and I can't afford to buy the Doris Chan book, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, sorry, I'm on a pension. I had to save up to buy the Doris Chan book. You know, and I cannot copy it because I would be in trouble with Doris. I'm taking money out of her purse. Oh, yeah, this dog can clear a room, Jane, and she's only that big. Your Christine, at least, is a big sized dog. But people don't understand the copyright rules at all. Or they'll say, oh, it's a 2 or 3 years old, the pattern. It can't be in copyright. Yes, it's in copyright. As long as that person owns that pattern, and we're going back years before they come out of copyright, yeah? But people think you're being funny when you say you won't do it. Can I have a copy of that pattern? I'm sorry. I'll show you a link. You can buy it off Etsy. That might be a copy, but that's not me selling it to you. If somebody else is willing to take the risk, that's up to them, isn't it? But I won't do it. I will say, this is the book it came from, or this is the pattern that it came from. Yeah, if I take a pattern, you're back, Sean. If I put a picture of a pattern, I'll say where I got it from, and I'll say whose photograph it is, yeah. Or I'll copy the whole link where it comes from that person. I don't just take the photo. The only time I take a photo and copy it is for my own use if I want to put the picture somewhere where I remember it, but not that I show it other people, yeah. I know people pinch photographs of children and all sorts of things, don't they? Somebody pinched a photograph of mine and put it on Pinterest, and underneath it said it was a free pattern. And I'm like, no, it's not a free pattern. And then this woman, she had a right go at me. She said, there's no link. I said, if you look carefully, I didn't post that picture. I didn't. I said, it's a paid for pattern. It's not. And she had to go at me. She was really awful about it. And I said, you know, I'm sorry, but I didn't even post. Somebody else had posted it on Pinterest, but it was my design. Well, one, not my design, something I'd made from a paid for pattern. And this woman wanted me to give it her for free. I clicked on the link and nothing happened. Well, it won't, will it? Because I didn't post it. Right. Workers back from ... to ... Oh, I've done that bit. Hang on. Top. Shape top has the short sleeve. Right, okay. Knit two together to the last 4 stitches. Well, this is where I can't count when I'm talking to you. trying to concentrate. We'll have you back making tinsel caterpillars before long, Sean. Sean likes a tinsel yarn, don't you? Jane, I thought you were in a pantomime then. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, yes, you are. It's behind you. Got to be getting up to pantomime season again. Yeah, you're the tinsel queen, aren't you? Every time I pick up a ball of eyelash, I always think of you. I thought, there's Sean and her caterpillars. It's like with Zoe, isn't it? 24 karat crochet. Every time I see an African flower motif, or I see one of those hippos or whatever they were, triceratops or something, I always think of Zoe. I don't know what I'm the queen of. Granny squares. I like doing granny squares. I hate doing the stitching in though. And try as I might, if I crochet over the end, they still poke out. I mean, the other day I went to knit club and my friend says to me, I've got a darning needle. She said, you've got a bit poking out, so I had to take my cardigan off. Sew this little end in the sleeve and cut it off. Oh, it's bedtime for you, Isaac. Your pigeons are awaiting. Oh, I'm not a crochet queen. When I see some of the fantastic crocheting online, especially from these Eastern European women and the Spanish women as well, they do some fantastic crocheting, don't they? Absolutely full of patterns and everything. My brain won't work that way. It used to do. But Sue's the best. She can look at a pattern on Pinterest that doesn't have a pattern, if you know what I mean. A picture that has no link, no pattern. And she can do it. And I'm like, what? And she likes to follow those Japanese ones as well, Sue. You know, the charted Japanese ones where they're all double Dutch to me. I have enough trouble with those drops patterns. If you've never done a drops pattern, you know what I mean. They'll have pattern A, pattern B, pattern C, and they're all different numbers of rows, yeah? And it's going, do 6 rows of this, do 6. Oh, I tell you, I used to have a bit of paper covered in scribbles. Eastern scallywags. They're not scallywags, they're fantastic blooming crocheters, I tell you. Some of the work they do. I'm just so green with envy. They are fabulous crocheters. And they seem to work so quickly. Right, nighty-night, eyes, that you look after those pigeons. We've got no shad tonight, have we? I wonder if he's fishing again. Is it fishing season? He couldn't go for a couple of weeks because it was too hot. Does it cool down? I'm on the decrease rows. I don't know how many of these I've got to do. I suppose I better look before I start, haven't I? Right. I'll repeat the last 2 rows until 46 stitches remain, so I'm all right for a bit. He thought it were quiet without. He's not that noisy. Give over. Shad's not noisy. He's quite a quiet little one. He's cooled down. He'll be in his tent doing his fishing. I think I'm getting fed up of doing my knitting now. It's funny, I can crochet for a lot longer than I can knit. When I do my knitting, it hurts my shoulder after a while. Mainly I struggle at Knit Club because the chairs have got arms on them. With me knitting with my needles under my arm, you know, the same way that Ephraim does. Oh, there's a chance it's going to get finished this before the end of the month. Whee! Whee! Look at that. Look, look, look. Come up to the shape. I've had enough though now. I'll put it down for the night. Oh, I had 16 balls of this yarn I listed on eBay. Luckily, I hadn't listed it because when I turned around, Rosie had one of them all around the garden. So now I've got 15 and one rewound one full of grass. I didn't tell them it was full of grass. I just said there was 15 and one that I'd throw in that was rewound, yeah. I can't knit like that. I can't knit free. I just cannot. I've tried and I can't knit. I can't get my tension and I'm as slow as can be. It's like, ooh, and it gets me down. Well, I got some crisps, but I don't feel like eating them. I've got some gigantic orange buttons if Chris is here. I won't eat all these though. I'll just eat one or two. M&S gigantic buttons. And when I show them to you, they are gigantic. Look at those. Woo! Oh, it's got a hole in. You could almost wear it around your neck, couldn't you? I've still got all my Jean Greenhow books, Sham. I haven't knitted any for years and years and years, but I've still got them. I won't part with them. Although some are missing. Marks and Spencer's do them, Jean. I can't find the one that was the wool shop. You remember it, Sham? It was a little old lady in a wool shop. It was a Jean Greenhow book. I can't find that one. I think somebody must have borrowed it and never give it me back. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing, Trixie Bell? Come on, say hello. Come here, say hello. There she is. Smelly bum. No, you can't have chocolate. She's trying to lick my face because I've had chocolate. Look at that. A face only a mother could love. She is solid. Look at that. She's a solid dog. Aren't you, darling? A solid. Oh, what a big yarn. Grown a lot. She's heavy. She weighs a ton. Look at that face, like Winston Churchill, isn't it? Oh dear. You're going down again, Trixie. You're heavy. Go sit on the chair. Oh, she's got her foot in my necklace. Oh, you're going on the floor. Right, okay. She's seen me eating something. So that's why she's come. She thinks she's going to get something. But she is not, because I've got chocolate and you cannot give a dog chocolate. Yeah, the joy of puppies, the joy of mopping up after them, the joy of picking up poop. Yeah, it's great. Not. The back door is open, but because I'm talking, she'll probably go and do a protest poop somewhere. I like caramel wafers. Not supposed to have anything because I'm diabetic, as you know, so I'm not supposed to have these. That's why I'm only eating a few. You know, that was caramel wafers by Grey Dunn, a tasty treat for everyone. It went on and on, but I can't remember them. I think I've had 3 of these now. Or maybe I've had 4. I can't have much more. Well, I've got Sean, Jack Daniels. But it's Jack Daniels cola and it doesn't taste like Jack Daniels at all. I can't put chocolate in the fridge because when I go back for it, it's not there. Somebody, a big mouse, that's not supposed to be having any chocolate. My son eats it. Then he said, "Will someone put it in there?" Oh, good. The booze is waved over this show. It says 5%, but it doesn't taste of booze. You would never know there was Jack Daniels in that at all. Right, that's my lot now. I've had 5. I'm getting better at limiting, at not eating the whole pack. I can't do without my chocolate, but I am getting better at just having a little and putting it away. One time I would have sat and scoffed the whole pack. It just tastes like pop. You don't get that hit, you know. If you were to put Jack Daniels in a glass and put Coke with it, you would at least get that hit, you know, when you taste it. But this just tastes like flavoured Coke. Who's gorgeous? The dog. Do you want her? I'll post her. Except it might cost you a bit because she's heavy. She's a lump. She weighs more than our Rosie does. But she's cupboard, love. The only reason she comes to me is when she thinks I've got food or she thinks there's food around my mouth and she wants to try and lick it off me, which I don't like. But Rosie, no, Rosie comes and loves me when I've got anything. She doesn't come for food, she just comes for a love, yeah. But with Trixie, no, she's very food-minded. As soon as she goes out for a wee before they go to bed, she's there. She wants her dental stick, you know. It's mine, give it to me now, you know. Oh. Whereas Rosie would quite happily go to bed without hers. But when they're away, Rosie commandeers my sofa. That's her bed. She sleeps on there. I don't bother because, you know, we have to hoover it, mind, because she's usually full of sand. She's a seaside dog and she loves to paddle. And paddling usually involves going in muddy pools, sandy pools, and every kind of pools that she can find. Whereas little Fatso, she just wades about that deep, you know, whereas Rosie goes right out to the gunnels, you know. Excuse me. She doesn't quite swim, I don't think, Rosie, but she definitely goes up to the nose. She likes to see. But then she comes back and, I mean, she's been clipped at the moment, Rose, so she's all lovely and smooth. But when her hair grows every which way, she's, oh, God. She needs a brush and she won't let you brush her. She does not like being brushed. I mean, if she was my dog, I would bath her because she comes in full of salt and her hair's stiff. You know, it's like when you go to the hairdressers and they go bonkers with the lacquer and you can't get your comb through it afterwards. They don't do it so much now, but they used to in the old days. You could have knocked on it in the old days. You used to put your lacquer on so heavy. There's a place online that sells all retro. And there's a place in Affinity. It's called the Sweet Box or something in Affinity Shopping Centre in Fleetwood. And when you go in there, there's the bottles, what do they call them, jars, sweets I have never seen since I was a kiddie. They've got it all in there. And like I couldn't buy most of it because I'm diabetic and I'm like, oh, and I'm going, oh, look at that, oh, look at that, oh, look, yeah. So I settled for, I think I bought two quarters or something or other. But anything you could have named, it was there in Sweet Shop. I went in just for nostalgia's sake, you know what I mean? I mean, if I hadn't have been diabetic, I would have bought the shop. I'd have been, it would have been all on my credit card, you know. But I used to buy from an online shop as well. And they did all the old-fashioned candies and stuff. But I haven't ordered since I found out I was diabetic. I didn't. Because if there's something that I like, I will eat. I buy wine gums every now and again because I absolutely love wine gums. So I would sit and eat the whole pack. And that's like a sugar overload. It's ridiculous. One of my friends loves jelly babies. She always has a jar in the car, apparently. Jelly babies are never my favourite. They've got that dusting of like icing sugar or something over them. So it sets my teeth on them when I have to bite into them. But you always have to bite the head off, don't you? That's what you do with a jelly baby. You bite its head off first. And I used to eat lots of Haribo, you know, the Haribo mix sweet things. Again, I've had to stop buying them. If they're not here, I can't eat them. I've got more willpower with chocolate than I have with toffees, sweets, candies, whatever you call them. If I buy a bag of sweets, I have to eat them. Whereas if I buy chocolate, I can just leave it. And I know it's there. And if I get the urge, I know it's there. But sweets, no. I'll be pick, 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 pick. So no, I don't buy them. Although I did buy a bag of cough sweets when I was in Skipton from a market stall. But I've only eaten about half of them. Yeah. And it's the same with these Werther's originals. They've been in the drawer that long, they've gone sugary. My bottles have all tipped out. Oh, put them back in the packet quick. I used to have a coat when I was a teenager with buttons that big. Oh, you want the boy ones, do you? Which bit do you buy it off if you get a boy one, Kaz? That's what I want to know. No, my Werther's originals have fallen out the bag. But they've gone like candy. They've gone like soft because they've been in the drawer too long. Oh, I need to remember to take my pills tonight because I didn't take them last night because I'm running out. I didn't take them last night. Well, I won't have enough. You bite off the head. You always do. You always bite the head. I don't know anybody who doesn't bite the head off first. I mean, you don't put the whole thing in your mouth, do you? You never do. You've always got to bite the head off first. I used to like those jelly snakes, what they call little serpenty things. And licorice bootlaces. Not the red ones. I only like the black ones. Oh, do you remember the sweetie cigarettes? Used to sit there, didn't you, with the sweet cigarettes. You always had them in your stocking at Christmas. That or a smoker set. There was like chocolate pipe, weren't there, and everything. Oh, I know. Everything's saccharine now, isn't it? It's nothing sweetie anymore. I was watching Crochet Rocks the other day, and she was talking about sugar puffs. They're not called sugar puffs anymore. They're called honey monster puffs now. It's almost like they're trying to pretend there's no sugar in them. Yeah. Did you used to get the chocolate toolbox? Yeah. I used to prefer the licorice one, where you got a licorice and a licorice pipe. And do you remember that fake tobacco? It was always like coconut strings, weren't it? I've never liked coconut. Yeah. When you think about it, every kid used to have a smoker set at Christmas, didn't we? Or you got a bag of those coins, didn't you? The horrible chocolate. It was never nice chocolate, were it? But you thought it was wonderful. A little bag of coins you used to get. Christmas wasn't like it is now, though. You just got your tangerine, didn't you? You got your apple. If you were lucky, you got a coin at the bottom. Well, there were no 50p's back in my day. It was like a 2 shilling or a half a crown you would get in the bottom. And used to get some nuts because I used to eat nuts back in the day. But there were always the nuts that you cracked, like the walnuts or the whatever. We only ever had nuts at Christmas. We never had them any other time. And then you would get your smokers set, or you would get, like I say, the little bag of coins. Yeah, you always knew what was at the bottom of you. Well, we used to have a pillowcase, but it was never full. And then you'd get various little bits of toys. You'd get a jigsaw sometimes, or a post office set, or a John Bull printing set you used to get. But you only ever got one present, didn't you? You'd get a doll, you'd get a whatever, yeah. So kids today, honest to God, they get all sorts, don't they? It wouldn't fit in a pillowcase, would it? Everything I had used to go in a pillowcase, and it was never full. And my mother used to hand me a cardigan or a jumper or something just to pad up pad up the pillowcase to make it look better. And then you'd get bath cubes. You'd always have an auntie that would send you a packet of 6 bath cubes that used to make you itch when you went in the bath. Yeah. Oh, you always got the Cadbury Saving Bank. Oh, no, I didn't get that. Oh, yeah, sometimes we used to get an annual comic book, yeah, if you were lucky. Mm. A Bunty or something like that. Because we never got the Beano or the Dandy or anything like that. It was always Girls Own or something like that. Or you get a book which would be like Jane Eyre or something or whatever. You know, you didn't. But, you know, in that situation, your friends, when you compared what you got, um, we all had the same. There was no rich kid on the block that got a bike, you know. We were all in the same boat, you know. You know, when you'd say to the guys, "What did you get?" and they'd say, "Oh, I got a football," or "Oh, I got a cricket bat," you know. We were all happy with what we got. I think kids today are just absolutely ruined. Oh, sometimes you got a colouring book. Do you remember those where you used to paint them with water? And all the faint colours used to start coming out. They were always wishy-washy, weren't they? You used to paint the water with a brush and all the colours used to come through. Yeah, and sometimes I'd get a book with, you know, a cardboard dolly and you cut out the clothes to put round it, yeah. Oh, I can remember one year, I thought it was fantastic. I got this big box and it was full of wooden, you know, clothes pegs, the ones that you go on the line, like, and there was pipe cleaners in it, bits of material and everything. And you made little dollies. Oh, you've sold that ring. Oh, that's good. I hope you got the right price for it. I get peanuts for everything I sell on eBay. I never get anything that goes wonderful. I mean, I've put my wool on at half, well, my yarn on at half price. And that's probably what I'll sell it for because nobody ever bids. Well, they bid bits on it, but nothing like what I pay for it, yeah. You know, I sold 21 bowls of Peyton's Fusion, I think it was, for about £10.50. 21 balls. And I know I paid at least £21 for it. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got what you wanted, yeah. I always put bids on mine and hope that they'll push the price up. Hope that somebody sees it and thinks, ooh, ooh. Oh, I've not tried selling anything on Facebook now. I've only ever used eBay, but then that was when I was decluttering, when I was moving. I sold quite a lot of my clothes on there, yes, for small amounts. I sold lots of crochet patterns and knitted patterns, yeah. But I've never made any money at it. You know, you see them on the telly, don't you? And they find something in a charity shop for 50p. Then they go on the antique roadshow, don't they? And sell it for 1,000, you know. Never happens to me. Well, I've managed to print all my labels today, Nathan. It took me all day. Print the labels and bag them all up. It's hard work selling things on eBay. You know, it was a day's labour for me bagging them all up. And when you think about the little amount of money I've got for doing it, you know, everybody's got to get a bargain who's bought my wool, I tell you. If you're in the UK, take a look because it's honest to God, it's half price or less. It's on for. And I would put more on. If this, the first lot sold, all of it sold. As I said, I made nothing, made a loss. No, I printed the label here. I print it through. You can do it your own way. It saves you taking it to the post office and having it weighed, yeah. Oh, good. No, I didn't have a spirograph. It was my son who had a spirograph. He used it for about twice, I think, and then it just got scattered in the box somewhere. I bought him an Etch a Sketch one Christmas as well. He used that about twice. I think we played with it more than he did. I just sent my people a message, saying I'd post it when I could. Yeah, I pay print through eBay because you get the postage cheaper. No, yeah, my son had a spirograph and my son had an Etch a Sketch, but I think that was before my time, all that, yeah. I sold loads of my clothes and my dresses, again for nothing, before I was moving, but I did get some money because I needed extra money to move with because, until my house money came through, I had no money when I was moving at first. Once the money came through for the house, I was fine. But I was thinking, oh my God, I need to pay the removal men. I need to pay everything before the actual cash, comes into my bank account from the house. So, well, it's easy with wool, isn't it? Because it tells you how many grams. So, like if you've got 10, 50 grams, it's got to be 500 grams plus a bit for the packaging. So then you look at whatever small parcel, medium parcel, and it tells you the size and the weight that you can have, and then you choose whether it's a small parcel or a medium parcel or whatever. I did used to use scales when I was selling things like my dresses or magazines and things like that. I did weigh them all because some magazines were heavier than others because they had inserts in them and stuff. Um, but most of the ones I've sold today were just small parcel. There was one that was a medium parcel because he had 21 balls of one and 7 of another. So, you see, all in all, he only paid me £20 or something like that. So that was like 20 balls of Fusion and 7 balls of Astrakhan. And I think he only paid me £20 or something for all of it, yeah. Yeah. It's like this coat I've got today. I got it off Amazon, but I can't be bothered sending it back. I bought a hooded fleece, and it was supposed to be extra large, and it's about as extra large as I can get in it, but it's like, oh, and also the arms are tight. And I tried it on over like me, well, not my bare skin. Obviously, I've got a top on, but I could never wear it over a sweater because I got it for the winter. Anyway, my daughter-in-law's smaller than me, so I'll see if she wants it. If not, I'll have to find somebody else's that'll fit. I could send it back, but I can't be bothered. It wasn't that expensive. By the time you've been to the faff of wrapping it up, contacting the buyer, and I'll just leave him a message saying it was smaller than I thought it was going to be. So it's back to buying a zip and doing that black. I've got a beautiful black fleece I bought from Marks and Spencer's. It's really thick and it's really warm. Yeah. Oh, Tracy's watching me sat on the end of the bed. Oh, hi, Tracy. What are you doing sitting on the bed? Go to bed. It's late. Yeah. No, I bought a zip. Oh, in fact, it's here. Oh, it's an open-ended one, but it's not got really big teeth. And with it being a heavy fleece, I think it needs one with chunkier teeth. So I'm going to measure this and see if I can buy a chunkier one. I'm sure this zip will come in handy for something. If not for me, for somebody else. Oh, excuse me. My drink's giving me the burps. Right, it's 68 centimetres. I'm going to write that down because I'm not measuring it again. 68 centimetres, or if it's in inches. If it's in inches, 27. Actually, it's probably going to be 28 because I've measured it from the zip. And it's 2 centimetres longer, so it's probably going to be a 70 centimetres. And maybe a 28-inch zip. I'm glad we pleased her. That's only a little thing that made her smile. That's happy, isn't it? Because we're quite a happy little bunch on here. Yeah, I need bigger teeth. This one, I mean, it's okay for a woolly, isn't it? But I don't think it's substantial enough to do a fleece. So I shall look up another. I shall look up for a thicker one. Because the one that Trixie bit and chewed, it's actually got quite a hefty zip on it. I think that's why I've not bothered taking it off and putting the new one on. I think that's why. Because I know I'm not going to like it when it's on. Oh, because so annoyed. She just bitten a tooth off right in the middle. If it had been a metal zip, you can take one off at the top, and use pliers and put it on, the middle bit. But it's plastic and you can't do that with plastic. There's a lot to be said for the good old-fashioned metal zip. They didn't break. The coat I wear all the time, it's one of those double-ended zips. And that's getting really dodgy at the bottom, for putting it in. And I'm thinking, please don't break, please don't break. Because I love that coat. It's my go-to. It's battered, it's old, it's ancient, but it's blooming warm when it's cold and you've got the hood up, I've got another coat that's really nice. It's padded and everything, but it's got one of those silly hoods. The hood that's like a cagoule. It doesn't keep any rain out. And not only that, it's not got a tie, so it won't stay on, it just blows. Yeah, I do second class for £3 something or other. I used to do sign for, but I haven't bothered with this. It's worth. It's not the second class sign for would probably cost more than they paid for the wool. So I just have to keep my fingers crossed it doesn't get lost. I always did sign for when I'd sent my crochet in, because I had a couple of ladies trying to pull the wool over my eyes, if you know what I mean, saying they hadn't got it when it had been signed for. So as soon as I said it had been signed for, they gone, "Oh, I've just found it. The postman had left it on my porch and I never noticed it." I thought, yeah, you were waiting for me to give you your money back. Well, it didn't work. There's always scam artists. And then another one wanted her money back because it didn't arrive on time, because I'd sent it with what it's called Every now. It used to be my Hermes. And they hadn't delivered it on time. It wasn't my fault, it was their fault. They had a strike in the warehouse. And so she said, "I want my money back. I'll send you the garment back when it arrives." Anyway, I managed to get hold of Hermes, and I told them what had happened, and he said, "Right, I'm going to take it out of the warehouse and I will send it back to you because she is not having it." He said, "Because she's scamming you. She's never going to give you, she's going to keep that. She's going to keep the money and she's never going to send it you back." So I sent her an email saying, "I've cancelled it. It won't arrive. I've cancelled it." She wasn't very happy. She thought she was going to get her money back and the garment as well, but no. He said, I don't usually do this, the man from My Hermes. He said, don't usually do this. He said, but because you've explained all that, and because she's been so... I read out what she'd written, and it was really nasty what she'd written. And he said, it is our fault because we haven't delivered it on time. He said, but it's not our fault because we had a strike and there was a shortage of drivers, blah, 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 blah. He said, so I will go in the warehouse and I will personally find it and send it back to you. Yeah, so, yeah. She wasn't even nice about it. You will give me my money back because it says here that you are going to deliver it by such a date and you have let me down. You have failed in your contract. She was going on and on and on about it. And I said, well, it'll come tomorrow. You know, I don't want it tomorrow. I want it today. If it doesn't come today, I'm having my money back. I've reported you. I've done this. I've done the other. I thought, you're trying it on, woman. It ain't working. It ain't working. I just gave her her money back and she didn't get the parcel. I was out of pocket with it because, of course, obviously I'd paid. I'd paid for My Hermes to pick it all up, yeah. There's always one out there. I had a friend of mine who posted out one of those reborn dolls. And you know how expensive they are. And this woman said, it wasn't up to standard, it wasn't this, it wasn't that. Could she return it? And she said, well, yeah, you can return it, but, you know, you have to pay the postage. And this woman sent a child's doll back. And she insisted that's what she sent her. And she said, no, I took a photograph of it when it was in the box. I sent you a reborn doll. You know, there were hundreds of them reborn. And she sent her back this child's cheap plastic doll from the market. I mean, she tried taking her to small claims court and everything, but she didn't win. So this woman scammed her out of a doll. There's always people out there. I don't know how they live with themselves. Mm. I mean, the only time I complained something didn't arrive, it didn't arrive. So I rang them up. Well, I wrote to them and said, like, you know, it hasn't arrived. Can you tell me where it is or what's happened to it? Oh, no problem. We'll send you another one. So they sent me another one and that arrived. And then the first one arrived. So I did get back in touch with her and said, do you want me to send this back? Because the first one has arrived after the second one arrived. Oh, no, just keep it. You know, but I did tell them. I didn't just keep it, you know, and not say a word that it hadn't, you know, because it arrived. I don't know where it had been. It must have been all around the world because it arrived about 2 weeks after the second one. But I did tell them. And they said, oh, just keep it. It's not worth sending it back. So, finally, I got something one time from Amazon. It had somebody else's name on it and my address. So I rang up Amazon and I said, this isn't my parcel. Well, it's got your address on it. I said, yeah, but I don't know this fella. I said, I'll inquire on the street and see whether anybody has that name on the street. So we used to have a WhatsApp group, you know. So I put on there, does anybody know this guy? Because I've got this parcel. It's not mine, yeah. And I mean, it was no good to me because they said in the end, just keep it. You know, if he gets in touch, we'll tell him where it is. And I don't know what it was. I can't remember, but it was something that some bitter piece of something or other, some electrical bit that wasn't. It was for something that I didn't have, if you know what I mean. And you know, well, today a lady knocked on the door because the dogs were going bonkers, and she said, "Is this number 9?" Blah 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 blah. And I said, "Yeah." She said, "We had 4 parcels this morning." And none of them were ours. And she lives at number 9, but a completely different street. Not even nearby, it's quite a way away. She'd come in a car. So she'd had 4 parcels delivered to they were all number 9s, but all different streets. And she said, I've been going around, she's asking everybody, is this yours? Is this yours? I mean, how can they send 4 parcels that were number 9 but different streets to her address? None of them were hers. So anyway, it's something that Trish had ordered, so I've just put it on the stairs for her. It's definitely got our right postcode and everything. I can remember when they started this postcode business, it was like the postcode is specific to you or like a couple of houses. And so it doesn't matter what address you put on it. You could literally put Joe Bloggs and put your postcode, and it's supposed to arrive to you. But it doesn't. I saw a thing on Facebook. I mean, this woman actually was in, but the Amazon bloke took a photograph saying delivered, and it was her dog standing on the driveway with this parcel. She said, oh, the dog takes delivery now. He just left it with the dog. He hadn't even got up to the door or anything. He just left it with the dog. Your parcel has been delivered, picture. I mean, there was one, I'm still on the old WhatsApp group from where I used to live. And there was a picture on there the other day saying, does anybody recognise this front door or front doorstep? Because this is where my parcel is. And it's not my doorstep. I don't have a porch. Yeah. Yeah, she was a lovely lady that came, yeah. Yeah, I never did find out whether that lady found out where her parcel was, because it was on somebody else's doorstep who had a porch. So she says, does anybody recognise this doorway? Because you've got my parcel. Yeah. There's a block of flats in Salford, apparently, and they're losing everything. They've got like a central door system where you go in, and there's where they put all the parcels in these supposedly like locked whatever postbox things with your number on. And of course, if the parcel's too big, they're just leaving them, and people must be just following the Amazon man or whatever and seeing that they've left a parcel and just pinching them out. Because the tenants were all saying, we want, CCTV, like, focused, or we want a bigger container. We want a bigger container to put the bigger parcels in, Mind you, some people have to have a postbox. I mean, Z has a postbox, doesn't she? She goes to the post office and unlocks it to see if there's any mail. I couldn't be doing with that. Having to trail all the way to the post office with a key, trying to get me post. I suppose we're quite lucky in the UK that we do have postmen who actually come to your front door and put the mail in the letterbox. We don't have a postbox at the end of the driveway or like halfway down the street. It tickles me, those like rounded postbox where you put a little. They don't collect mail. I mean, in America, you put the little flag up and they collect the mail, don't they? But we don't have anything like that over here. You can have a parcel picked up if you pay. But I prefer to just take it up to the post office and I know it's gone. I know where it is then. I don't know whether I'll be that happy going to the post office in the winter, mind you. But at the moment, it's not too bad. If it's a nice day, I'll trip up the seafront, cut across, and then go up this street to the post office. Got a big bag. I've got You know those laundry bags with, I've got about 10 parcels in it to post. They're all got labels on, so I don't have to get them post. Well, we had post today, but it was only via that lady. We didn't actually have any post, if you know what I mean. Oh God, yeah, I wouldn't like a mailbox. I mean, some people do have a mailbox outside their house because they don't have a letterbox going through the door. And other people have to have a cage, behind the door because the dog eats the mail or something. I wasn't bad because I used to have a porch, and my delivery men knew me, and the porch was like brick halfway up, so anybody walking past couldn't see a parcel. So they always knew that they could leave it inside the porch. The Amazon men and everything. They used to leave it in the porch for me, so I never missed a delivery. Oh, good night, Sean. I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better. I'm glad your legs come back from the pub. Good night, Sean. Say good night to Jeeve. He's still awake. Oh, dropped my hanky. Dropped my hanky on the floor. Yeah, I hope you feel better and you've got time to do your hair. And you can turn back into a redhead again. I always think that makes you feel better. If you're feeling very grotty and you're not feeling yourself, if you can get yourself a shower and do your hair, it does make you feel better. We've got a name and address plaque, but we've never got round to putting it on the wall. I must say to my son, where is it? Yeah, it's got the door number and our name over the top. Because people always say, is this number 9? Because I think I don't think next door's got a number, and we've not got a number. And I don't know whether next door the other way's got a number. So the poor postman, he must have to guess which one. So they're always saying, is this number 9? Yeah. Oh my God, you've got a splint. Some people get them plasticky ones, don't they, so you can have a shower. I mean, my friend's broke her elbow, and they don't even give them a splint or do anything anymore. They didn't. They put her arm in a sling the first day, and then they told her to use it. She can't push anything, pull anything, and definitely not lift anything. But they didn't even give her anything. It's because she's broke it right across the elbow somewhere. It's all creased up where my elbow is. I need to get the iron out. I bought a dress a few weeks ago, actually. But it needs ironing. I'm always dreading breaking anything. I've only broke fingers in the past and toes. I snapped a tendon once in my leg when I was younger. That had to go in plaster because it was like a break. But I didn't actually, I was in plaster from my ankle to my knee. And everybody kept saying, oh, have you broken your leg? And I hadn't, I just snapped a tendon. But they had to immobilise it, so they put it in a plaster. But when you break fingers, they just tape them together. When you break toes, they don't do anything. Toes hurt because you walk. You can't help but walk on your toe, can you? What can you do? You can't hop. You know. Oh yeah, torn. Oh, I heard it snap. I thought I broke my leg. I couldn't walk at all on it. I couldn't put any weight on it at all. It was between my ankle and my knee. The tendon just snapped. Ooh, it took ages because after I came out of plaster, I was walking on my toes and I had to have physiotherapy to try and get my heel to come down because I wouldn't put my heel down. It was sort of shortened. Oh, and it was so painful to put my heel down because you have to stretch the tendon back out again. Because when it knits together, it doesn't knit together like that. It tends to knit together like that. So it shortens itself. So you have to stretch it back out again. Oh, that was painful. I did it on this shoulder as well. I snapped it between my shoulder and my elbow again many years ago, and that was the same. They used to keep making me put my arm back and pull it. You have to stretch your tendon out, otherwise you'll never use your arm again. Blah blah blah. And I had to go swimming. It might have been my Achilles tendon. I don't know which one it was, but they made me go swimming only the breaststroke to stretch out my arms. But that was painful. I had to do. I went privately for physiotherapy because it wasn't healing, and he used to keep stretching it out. Oh, God, that hurt. I thought he'd never be right, but it is. And then I broke my shoulder. Oh dear. So I have broke something, but I've not broken anything that could go in. You can't put a plaster cast on a broken shoulder, and it's healed up with a. It's got a lump on it now because it healed up with a lump. I've always dreaded though breaking arms, wrists. I'd be absolutely bereft if I broke an arm, yeah. Because I have to knit or crochet. It doesn't bear thinking about. Right, good night, Lulu. Thank you very much for your company. I can trip over an eyelash, Lydia. I don't need to trip over anything. Because when I fall, my son will say, "What did you fall over?" I don't know. Didn't fall over anything, I just fell over. I just realised I've left my sleeve out. It'll be all around the garden if Miss Rosie has anything to do with it. She's a monkey. Everything she finds, she drags it all around the garden. Like I said, I had 16 balls of green fleck wool. I've now only got 15 and one that's wound up with loads of grass. I've got a rewound one. I put 15 balls with one rewound one. Didn't tell them it had been all around the garden. I'll let them find the grass in it. She's a monkey. And my son's not got a pair of socks without a hole in. Because she takes them, steals them and chews them. She had my slippers outside yesterday. Yeah. The x-rays only show so much, don't they? Hey, well, I've been on nearly 3 hours, so it's time me and the doggies went to bed, I think. Take them for their last wee. My last night with the dogs. And then I don't have them again until October. My son always says, "What do you..." Luckily, I usually fall backwards. Don't fall forwards, I fall backwards. So that's probably why I've escaped any broken wrists or anything, because I don't put my hands out to save me because I go backwards, yeah. I banged my head a few times. I usually land. The worst one was I sat on the dining chair and I missed it, and I landed right on my coccyx. Oh, because you know I've got a bad back. That really hurt. It went right up my spine. I couldn't move for about a week. I thought I'd broken something. Yeah, you're falling asleep, Kaz. Yeah, you know, it's too late nights. Yeah. Oh, don't bother about complaining. We all have a wine. It's part of the fun. We don't condemn anybody for having a wine, do we, girls and boys? Yeah. We all have one from time to time. Oh, so don't worry. Right, I am going to go. So whoever's left on here, thank you very much for your company, and I shall hopefully see you all next week. And hopefully I've sold some more on my wool. Hopefully not for less than I paid for it, please. I'm going to go and look for a new zip while I remember before I go to bed. And then when I've ordered that, I'm going to go to bed. So thank you very much. Good night. I hope you've enjoyed your evening. And I shall see you all next week. Bye. Bye. I shall wave you bye 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 bye.